about a little bit more about this study by Krause, because there's something very revealing in that study. And that's one of those that was available when we first looked at all of this, that to me was so revealing and important. When they looked at these animals who received one male stem cell 3 to 4 months after that injection, they took samples from the gut, the intestine, the liver, muscles, the brain, the lung, stomach, esophagus, kidneys, and they looked at, do I find any cell of that tissue, kidney cells, lung cells, so on and so forth, that has the Y chromosome? And they found that in most tissues, there was anything between 3 and 10% of the cells of that tissue that had the Y chromosome. In the lung, up to 20% of the pneumocytes were having the Y chromosome. So nothing was done, and here they are. Up to 20% of the lung has been now renewed with stem cells coming all from that one stem cell. It's a natural process that happens all the time. Now, what was even more amazing is that these stem cells can travel everywhere. They can even travel to the brain. So here you have female animals in which male stem cells were injected. So as they traveled like this in the brain, what they start to notice is that the mice start to be messy, cussing around, drink beer, watch sports. It's not true. It's a joke. Scientists said, well, if this is really happening, then if I am a man who receive a transplant from a female, a liver transplant from a female, I have a liver that is filled with liver cells that have what? Double X chromosome. If my stem cell, as a man, travel and go into that liver and become liver cells, what should I find after some time? Liver cells with the Y chromosome. So far, so good. So let's go back into banks of specimens taken from biopsies that are made after liver transplant in the months following a liver transplant, when we follow the recovery of the individual. So they went back into this with these tissues, and they analyzed the tissue. Do we find Y chromosome, cells having Y chromosome? They found up to 4% of the liver had been replaced with cells carrying the Y chromosome. Nothing had happened with these people. They just had a good life, and their stem cells slowly changed that tissue. The most important piece of this is that 2 patients died in that study. So those samples came from people who had died. The autopsy, they took samples from the liver. One died from cirrhosis, the other one from hepatitis C. Challenges of the liver. You know how many liver cells were found with the Y chromosome in these people? 40%. So when an organ goes through a challenge, this is where they go. It was shown in animals, it was shown in humans, it was shown in normal life. It's a phenomenon that is just revealing itself to us more and more. Okay, what is the difference? Anybody here have been consumers of just good old AFA, the raw ingredient for this product? Let me tell you, not that many, but I'm sure you're interested. What's the difference here? I'm buying a product that I'm told is so special. It's coming from a raw ingredient called AFA. If I take AFA, will I get the same effect? The answer is yes and no. Yes, because how did we get on that track? It's because of things that we observed. Over millions of consumers, I got 50 letters of people reporting those amazing, strange recoveries, strange health improvements. So it came from that, but it was a small proportion of people. So we tried to just make a product stronger and better. So as we did this over the years, we really identified 4 compounds in AFA that are responsible for the health benefits that have been reported over the years. People reported improvement in joint pain, general movement, range of motion, immune system, mental clarity, people feel better, many things like this. So it came from 4 compounds. One, well, the 2 that we've talked about here. The L-selectin ligand really helps release stem cells. The polysaccharide helps their migration, but also helps the migration of other immune cells like NK cells, responsible to eliminate or fight viral infections in your body. So people are talking about really having a much stronger immune system when they're on AFA. It's partly this polysaccharide. We have identified a blue pigment in AFA called phycocyanin. Phycocyanin was shown to have very good anti-inflammatory properties. And we also have isolated a compound called phenylethylamine, PEA. It completely redefines the concept of a pea brain. Your brain makes PEA. Naturally, when you're content, it's called the molecule of love. Okay? If you are, let's say, you're painting, sculpting, and you're really absorbed into what you're doing, you're not hungry. Noise around you is not disturbing you. If you have financial problems, they'll come back, but now they're gone. You're just content, okay? Your brain is making PEA. If you're deficient in PEA, it has been associated with depression in kids with ADD. There's some recent work showing that autistic children are deficient in PEA. What is one of the very well-known source of PEA? Chocolate. Okay? Chocolate is about 1/10 the amount of PEA we find in AFA. And in STEM Enhance, we do a concentrate, 5-to-1 concentrate. So we have about 5 milligram of PEA per gram in STEM Enhance. 5 to 10 has been shown to have a really strong impact on mental clarity, mental energy, just this feeling of feeling great. It's probably one of the first things that people report when they take STEM Enhance. They just feel better. They don't really know why, they just feel better. It's PEA. So we have those 4 compounds in AFA, and as we make STEM Enhance, incidentally, they're all concentrated in about 5-to-1. So originally when we make STEM Enhance, our view was, let's concentrate those 2 active components, L-selectin ligand and the polysaccharide, because otherwise you need about 5 grams of AFA to start to have this effect in the blood of elevating the number of circulating stem cells. If we tell people take 5 grams or 6 grams of AFA per day, it's like telling them take 20 capsules twice a day. It becomes a veggie cap diet. It's not, you can't mass market that kind of approach. So we had to concentrate it so we could tell people take 2 capsules a day. That's why we did this at the, up front. Now when this was done, I sent the product to a colleague and friends. The view was, okay, if I have a nice concept here, meaning elevating the number of stem cells really helps the body, and I have a product that elevates the number of stem cells, I should have a winning situation here. But I don't know. This is all nice. Until then, it's just a nice idea in my brain. So ship the product to a colleague, scientist, and friends and ask him, test this with your patients. He was one of those weird doctors with receiving patients that no other doctors can help them, and was trying to do whatever he could. So I said, just give them the product. I will not go into the results that we've got because some of them are actually quite astonishing, but the results were such that with AFA, when I would receive those letters historically in the past, before all this work, when we did not know what was happening, I would receive letters 6 to 9 months after people would start to take AFA. I would then receive the letter. With this product, 2-3 weeks after, people are coming back and they're starting to report amazing results. So really the difference between AFA and STEM Enhance, first is that you have the essence of AFA, but the results are so much faster and much greater in magnitude. That's really the difference with AFA in STEM Enhance. It doesn't mean don't take AFA. It has a lot of rebuilding and good properties, but really we capture the heart of it in STEM Enhance. Next question. What happens when stem cells do not reach any tissue? This is a very serious question. In one individual, it increases like this 30% every day. In one individual, we followed this buildup in the blood, and they really built up a lot of stem cells, and after about a month, he grew a 3rd eye in the back of his head. But he liked that. It's just that it needed glasses. No, it's not true. Stem cells won't build in the blood. After about 4 to 6 hours, they just go back to the bone marrow. If a stem cell is not used, it goes back to the bone marrow. It does not have any buildup. It is a natural process. You're doing it since the day you're born. You just didn't know you were doing it, and now we're just helping it. The biggest weakness with this product, I want you to really understand, is the biggest problem with this product, the biggest weakness is that it works too good. It does things in people that if people start to talk about it, it's getting a little bit out of hand. So we're really here in a campaign of anti-hype. We don't make testimonials on our website. We don't make CDs with testimonials. Many companies will take their 3 best testimonials and they'll just platter them everywhere. That's because they don't have any others. We don't have that problem. Just turn around and talk to your neighbor, you'll hear a story. So we're not using testimonials because we don't need to. All you need to do is what I talked about in this talk. It supports the release of stem cells from the bone marrow, thereby assisting the body in regaining and maintaining optimal health. The greater the number of circulating stem cells, the greater is your health. That is the key message that we have to tell people, and we just tell them, try it. Because if everything that I've told you today doesn't work for you, you wasted your time, and I wasted mine. So I'm just giving you enough information here to have this mental click of saying, you know what, I'll just try this product. If you try it, that's fine for me. The product will do it for you.
Are you ready to see what STEM Enhance can do for you? Are you ready to take an active role in creating optimal health, not only in your own life, but in the lives of those around you? If so, then please contact the person who gave you this DVD. Get started on the road to living your life to its fullest. Become a part of the personal health revolution today.